Hello and welcome to How Mundane, the least interesting place on the internet. Today, we got another tag return, and it's timely because, well, there's tag stuff going on again. So, let's start with the good side of news. Tag does seem to have fixed their backlog issue. This return was processed much more quickly than previous returns. We got a 9 on a Flapple. So it does seem like things are getting back to normal as far as dealing with the volume. I have not seen any of the 1,000-point service come back. 6.5 on the Syndic will. We'll have to look at the dig report, see what it says. So maybe we'll see some of that here soon. But that is kind of not why people have been talking about tag. The 9 on the Ends Zoroark. Not why people have been talking about tag again this time. That is because a video came out in the last few days from when I'm recording this that I just got a chance to watch today. Oshawott from McDonald's. Questioning how consistent is tag, because again, the whole premise behind tag is it's supposed to be scanning the cards. Ooh, we got a 10. Oh, a 10 on the Charmeleon. Ooh, a good hit. The whole premise is with the scanning, this should be producing repeatable results for card grading, and that's always kind of been the premise around 10 on the Morpeko. The premise around Tag's whole grading system is that it's going to be more consistent than your PSA, for sure, your CGC, your Beckett. And based on an experiment that this guy did where he sent some cards through tag multiple times, it seems like that has not proven to be the case. 10 on Peter Pan. Which is unfortunate. And in fact, he even goes through the dig reports showing where sometimes they catch some things and sometimes they don't, and some of the things that should be extremely repeatable, like centering. There's one instance where the centering 10 on the Umbreon comes back, and one of them is just, there's no way that the centering number is possibly correct, which means that if the scan was wrong, which it was, it should have been caught by the human looking at the scan report. 10 on that Umbreon. And it wasn't. So, yeah, it certainly makes me wonder a fair amount about how much Mimikyu, how much improvement can tag still get to that consistent grading as we've sort of been roughly promised. 5.5. Oh, that has some weight. Oh yeah, this was an old Mimikyu. I knew it wasn't going to be in the best of shape. It's for my personal collection. Here we got a 10 on the Team Rocket's Mimikyu. So yeah, I mean, that kind of comes back to the whole question behind grading in the first place. And in fact, one of, I think, the greatest complaints about grading in general is how inconsistent it can be. I mean, there's a reason why people joke that PSA stands for Please Submit Again, and there are countless examples of people resubmitting to PSA and getting wildly different results, jumping from 6 to 9, from 7 to 10, just by resubmitting. And of course in the reverse too, where you will jump down from, 10 to 7, 10 to 8. Certainly no grading company at this point is completely immune to that. You can get inconsistency from Beckett, you can get inconsistency from CGC, and the promise on Tag was with more automated grading tools that would be a more consistent grade. And, at least based on this guy's experiment, there was, I guess, 2 cards that came back with identical grades on 2 different sessions. One of them he graded 3 times, and the first time had a different grade than times 2 and 3, but 2 and 3 were identical, which to me, again, suggests maybe some improvement was made to the process between times 1, time 2, and time 3, and another card also came back with an identical grade twice in a row, which is good. You would hope that would be the case with all of them, but the problem was the other ones jumped, radically different directions. Radiant Jirachi? Up and down, no real rhyme or reason to it. Like I said, one of them had a centering grade that was clearly off. You could tell just by looking at the card that it was not the 75-25 that Tag was claiming, and certainly that should be caught by the human review that occurs after the... Oh, we got something here. Y'all see that? This is our first Tag Pristine. Let's see what it is. Team Rocket's Houndoom on the Pristine. That is a great looking slab. Anyway, so it'll be interesting to see. At this point, Tag has not responded to that video. And in fact, it seems like the video has been pulled from a number of places on Reddit and elsewhere that it was being shared. The video certainly has quite a few views, so it's not like it's just being ignored by the public at large. So we will have to see if Tag releases some kind of statement about what's in the video, or if they just pretend it didn't happen. I'm not sure that you can at this point, though, when the whole premise is that the scanning should pick up the same things every time. And then if something is not being correctly scanned, the human review after the scan should be fixing any of those things that are wrong in the scan. So, I don't know. I still like the slabs. They're still definitely more durable than they were during that brief period of time where there was a problem. But now you've got kind of a whole different problem with, really, here we go, Leafeon V-Star from V-Star Universe. Tag's whole promise of having repeatable results was always what, to me, made it an interesting competitor. Now, I just am not sure. So we got one more box here. As always, these cards will be available on CollX once we get them all listed. Not sure when this video will be up versus when that will be. And it may be that I don't list any of these until after the next NTX card show, which would be the first weekend in August. And this video will definitely be up before that NTX card show. Here's another 10. Oh, the Misty's Lapras. That is a great art. So, if you're looking for these cards, check us out on CollX. Come check us out in person at the NTX card show. That will be the first weekend in August. We are actually going to be at both days of that show this time. Day one is primarily sports, and so I will primarily have sports stuff with me. I will not have much of the Pokemon or Lorcana selection that day. I will have definitively all of the Pokemon and Lorcana and other TCG stuff with me on day 2 on Sunday. So depending on what you're into, come find us. I will have a ton of sports slabs on the sports day, along with quite a bit of sealed product from all different eras. There we go. A Lowen Vulpix V-Star in a 10. And then one of the things we will have, well, two things that we will have special for this new NTX. One, if you are there and you are in need of a tote bag, we will have How Mundane tote bags available for $5 or free with a purchase of, I believe, $30. I'll have to double check that. But there will be a sign up saying, you know, $5 or free with a purchase of X. The other things we will have 9 on the Iono's belly bolt. The other thing we will have for both sports and for TCG is we are putting together new volume mystery boxes. 6 on the Gyarados. So we will have a 500 card size box and an 800 card size box. They are not exact counts. That's just the size BCW boxes we are using. There's the Keldo. Pricing is still a bit TBD, but think like, you know, the 500 card box will probably be about, there we go, Boa Hancock 10, the PSA promo card. Probably be about $30 for a 500 card box. Those boxes will be individually themed, so you could get like a 500 card Pokemon box. You could get a 500 card, Lorcana box. Or if you're on the sports side, I know we will have boxes of both, ultra modern and older 4 on the Ancient Mew. Baseball. Baseball is the one we have the most kind of ability to spread some of that out. So we will have both, 1999 and older baseball, as well as 2000 and newer baseball. We'll have football, we'll have basketball, I believe we'll have hockey. These boxes will also have some kind of promo for buying multiple boxes if you really want to get your hands on a bunch of stuff. Wouldn't expect to find anything that's like a, old Michael Jordan or something in any of these boxes, but, there are cards worth up to a couple of bucks a piece sprinkled throughout. Otherwise, it's just a great way if you're either just getting into the hobby, new to the hobby, want to explore some new subset of the hobby, to pick up a big chunk of cards for a pretty reasonable price. And all of those boxes, whatever the pricing is, if you buy any of them, you will have spent enough to get the free tote bag. So, tote bags. Well, there's the Journey Together promo card. Let's see what we got in the last one here. Another 9 on the Maractus from Journey Together. All right, there you go. Tag return, latest tag drama, all that fun stuff. Thanks for being mundane with us. We'll see you next time. Bye.